Tristan and Andrew's cousin Luke speaks out about the problem with the Tates getting arrested.
The first thing I want to tell you guys is I promise you that Tate is too rich and too smart to do anything illegal. He's been too rich and too smart to do anything illegal for a very, very long time. As long as I've lived with him, I've never seen him do anything illegal at all in any way, shape, or form. Tate also, because he's foreseen of things, he always knew that this would happen. He's told you guys this would happen. He has many interview clips where he said this would happen. It's a three-life process when you're someone that that let's say the Matrix or the mainstream news or the people in charge do not like you. It's a three-step process. First, they try and cancel you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They did try to cancel, but that shit didn't work though.
So they tried to cancel Tate. They really did. Unfortunately for them, they failed. So they failed on that end. So if they fail on canceling you, what's the next move? Well, the next move is jail. And by the way, you can see this playbook. They do this playbook with Julian Assange. They do it with credible people. It's what they do. First, they try and discredit you and cancel you, so no one listens to you. If people keep listening to you, then they have to try and discredit you further and try and put you in jail. That's the next move. And that's what the Matrix has done. The Matrix is now trying to put Andrew in jail. It's completely bogus charges, but unfortunately, Romania is, you guys can look this up, is known for corruption, and unfortunately, corruption also works to where if the mainstream and the Matrix wants you, they can find a corrupt judge to sign a bullshit paper to get your house raided. And that's really what it is. It's one judge signs one paper, and now your house gets raided, and then you get, and that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. So, obviously that's all in the news now, because that's what it takes to discredit, right? Just the house raid alone is massively discrediting. Julian Assange, right? I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's the WikiLeaks guy who reported a bunch of news that the US government didn't want to get reported. Then one day, out of nowhere, some Swedish girl said that he raped her. And there's no evidence at all that that happened ever. And I'm pretty sure the charges were dropped and it never even went to court. But by then he ran away and hid in exile in some embassy. He was in that embassy forever. Then they dropped those charges and they added on some new charges about something about leaking sensitive information, like a sort of terrorist thing. So anyway, that's the playbook they played on Assange. Step 2 done. Will they attempt step 3? Because step 3 is, if they can't cancel you, and if they can't put you in jail, or if jail doesn't ruin your influence, the next thing they do is they kill you.
Yup. They're gonna poison you. They're gonna do whatever it takes, bro.
Sting you. And Andrew's clearly said on multiple podcasts he will never kill himself. Andrew knew that this would happen eventually. It was always a possibility on the board. It was always, okay, well, we've done well in not getting canceled. We're not going to shut up because we're going to keep changing lives for the better. And okay, so that means step 2 is jail. And Andrew expressed in many podcasts that he knew that that was the case, and that's why he was worried. And obviously he was worried for a good reason, as we can see now. Because frankly, I'm extremely, extremely surprised this happened. I've been living with the guy forever, and I can tell you guys, it's not true in any way, shape, or form. It's complete, just literal nonsense. I actually can't believe it. It makes me really not trust the justice system at all in any way, shape, or form.
Comment your thoughts down below in the comment section.
That video's done.
You need to pay attention to this right here, right now. Because the things you're going to learn today will change the way you view the world. They will shape your reality. Everything that you know about money is a lie. Everything you have ever been told about money is a lie. It is a lie designed to keep you as a worker ant. A lie designed to keep society running to the top 1%. How do I know this? Because I'm in the top 1%. I'm an ultra high net worth individual. I have $13 million USD net worth, which puts me in the ultra high net worth individual category. From climbing from the absolute bottom of reality to the top, I have learned that the entire game is rigged. The way that the money works is rigged. The way you pay taxes is rigged. The way that the government's work is rigged. All of it's rigged. You should know this. You know the rich don't pay tax. Why? Because the rich write the tax code. They make it deliberately complicated, extremely long pages. It could be 1 page long, very simple, percentage of income, right? They make it extremely complicated on purpose so that there's loopholes that they can exploit that we can't exploit. The people who control the system have made the system to benefit themselves. And for that reason, everything they teach you about money is a lie. They want...
So rich people don't pay taxes? Huh? That's crazy.
Keep you ignorant. They don't want you to understand how money works. Because if you understand how money works, you will find a way to escape. And if you can't find a way to escape, you'll be very, very angry at the jail you've been put in. If you have slaves, you do not teach them enough for them to stop being slaves. You only teach them enough for them to continue to be good slaves.
Yeah.
Working very, very hard and paying a lot of taxes. Everything you know about money is a lie. I've gone from nothing to something. And I have a message for all of you watching this. You are inside of a matrix. And I'm here to wake you up. I say matrix on purpose. I hope you've seen that movie. The Matrix is a movie about people who are stuck inside of a system that they don't quite understand. There's a system around them, and they can feel it, but they don't quite understand. Well, there's something going on, but I don't know what it is. That's how anyone who is educated feels. You must look at someone like me with one of 17 supercars. If I'm driving next to you,
Damn.
you must...
So this guy got 17 supercars? Huh? 17? Okay.
How did he afford a $300,000 car? Plus the maintenance. Plus...
Whoa. 300,000? Let's continue the video.
The insurance. How? I could never save that much money. How did he do that? Something doesn't make sense. You should be able to feel inside of yourself that some people know something, or know someone, or have access to something that normal people simply don't have. How can I take a life savings and drop it on a car 17 times on repeat? It doesn't make sense if you think about it logically. It doesn't make sense. People, you are inside of a matrix. You are stuck inside of a system that was taught to you. Everything you were taught in school, everything you were taught was designed to only make you obey. Obey the slave master. They want you smart enough to run the machines and make them more money, but too stupid or too ignorant, unknowing of the true information of the world to ever escape. And I'm here to wake you up. I'm here to tell you, as someone who was inside of the Matrix, I have now escaped the Matrix. And it is real, because when I talk to people about how to make money, they all sit there with the same regurgitated ideas. The same ideas. The ideas that were taught to them by the Matrix. Oh, save my money, get a deposit, get a mortgage, buy a house, rent the house, maybe pay the house off one day. Like, this is all the garbage you've been taught. Have you ever seen anybody from a council estate who's broke, who managed to save up £100,000 or $100,000 for a mortgage, and then get a mortgage, and then work and pay it off, and then own the house, and then drive a Ferrari and be rich? Have you ever seen that?
No.
You've never seen it. So why do you talk about it? Why are you saying that that's the way out if you've never seen anybody escape that way? Because the Matrix has taught you this, and they've taught you this on purpose. One, it teaches you to work and save. Keep your money slow. Don't make your money fast. Put it in a bank for no interest. That makes the bank money. Go back to the same bank and get a mortgage, more interest on top. That makes the bank money. Get a nice hard asset, a house. If you don't pay your taxes, they'll take it from you. That makes the government money, keeps you afraid. Do you understand? The entire system is designed to benefit the people who are in charge of the system, not you. You're inside of a matrix. You need new information to escape. That's why I'm here. I'm here to teach you the secrets to modern wealth creation. Society is not your friend. A lot of you people out here think it is. It is not your friend. Society is not made in your best interest. Society is made in the best interest of itself and those who run society. You're a cow. You're a farm animal. Society is the farm, and the ruling elite are the farmers. Society cares for you the same way a farmer cares for its cows. It wants you alive. It wants you alive, and it wants you to do your job, which is to give milk. But it does not want you free, and it does not want you happy. It doesn't want you to make enough money to start your own farm. It wants you on their farm. Please understand me. I was born to be a cow. Most of us were. But today I understand how the farmers think. Today I'm a farmer. I understand now what's happening. I fly private. I drive around the world in my various supercars. I don't have a care in the world.
Chill, Andrew Tate. You don't have to flex, my guy. Come on.
And I am woken. The reason I am awake is because I paid a lot of attention to very important people. I paid a lot of attention to that around me. I was extremely perspicacious, and I woke myself up. And for that reason, I am qualified to wake you up. Understand that society is teaching you the wrong things about wealth creation on purpose. They don't want you rich. During the COVID pandemic, a lot of people were not allowed to fly because flight routes were canceled or stopped. Not for me, I fly private. Do you understand? You are told you're not allowed to go somewhere. I can go anywhere I want. The difference between you and me is I have money. Do you understand that slavery exists and slavery is coming? Slavery is coming for the people who cannot afford to be free. If you are not scared and feel like you need to get rich quickly, then there's something wrong with you. Because slavery is coming. They're going to keep you poor and destitute and reliant on your job. They're going to force you to take injections, force you to have pieces of paper you don't want to keep your job. They're going to keep you destitute on purpose. This is done on purpose. You must get rich quickly. And if you don't understand that urgency, if you're not sitting here thinking, yes, there's serious problems ahead for the average man, and it's going to get worse and worse, then there's something wrong with you. Think how hard and how much worse it's got for the average man the last 10 years. 10 years ago, you were better off than you are now. You're getting paid around the same salary, and prices were half what they are now for property. Half. Think about it. The European Union is going to tax jet fuel to help combat global warming. That means no more low-cost airlines. You want to fly to Spain on a Wizz Air cheap? No more. You're going to tax private jets too, right? No. The EU draft exempts private jets and cargo jets from jet fuel tax. That means anyone who flies private, no extra tax for us. Only tax for the peons. Tax for the peasants. The peasants will pay the tax, but we won't. Do you understand? Exempt. Exempt. The people who make the rules for themselves. They do not make the rules to benefit you. And every single thing they use as an excuse is a lie. Global warming, we're trying to help the planet. We're trying to help feminism. We're trying to help whatever it is. It's all an excuse to keep the poor poor. Keep the people inside the matrix broken. Because there are people inside the matrix so foolish that when they hear we're passing a tax on the planes to help the environment, they're going to sit there and go, yeah, good idea. It's not about the environment. It's about keeping the rich rich and keeping the poor poor. That's what every single rule, every single law is about. They're all about the same thing. You are inside of a matrix. Another thing that people are taught that they misunderstand. You do not need money to make money. Now, you can make money with money, but you don't need money to make money. Did you know that 88% of millionaires today are self-made, including myself, completely self-made? You don't need to be born into money, and you don't need to have money. It's a coping mechanism average people use to be at peace with their reality. Oh, I'm poor, but I'm not, my family's not rich. Those people, they were probably born rich. No, that's what you say so you feel better about not being rich. There are people who were born poor like me who escaped, and we escaped by paying attention. So I hope you're paying attention to everything I'm saying so far, because if you're not paying attention, you are making a
I am paying attention, Mr. Tate.
This is the first real chance you've had in your life to escape the matrix. You must destroy the coping mechanisms in your mind. Oh, the rich, they're rich, but I bet they're not happy. Yes, they are. Have you ever seen a rich person give their money away?
One day somehow, bro, I gotta be rich, bro. Come on, bro.
Money makes you happy. Money is happiness because money is freedom, and freedom is happiness. You do not need to be born into money to have money. You need to destroy these thoughts in your mind so that you are open and receptive to the ideas that I present on how to create wealth. If you hate money, if you repel money, if you think money is evil or money's not important, you're never going to have any. And once you have money, you'll understand how important it is, because freedom is the most important thing in the world. And money buys freedom. I've given you the private jet example. I can give you a million examples. Money is the freedom to sleep where you want, to eat what you want, to drive the car you want, to go where you want, to wear a diamond watch. Money is the freedom to do whatever you want. Other lies they tell you. Money's hard to acquire and rich people work harder than you. That is a lie. Rich people do not work harder than you. You work harder than rich people. You're already working harder than the rich people. The rich people are on their boats, relaxing in the sunshine. How can they be working harder than a nurse on a ward? How can the African woman who carries water on her head under the desert sun, how can she be working less hard than a fat cat billionaire? Understand, the billionaires and the rich people do not work harder than you. You already work harder than them. You just don't work at the right things. That's what I'm going to teach you. You just don't understand the world correctly. You're still inside the matrix. That's what I'm here to teach you. If you work as hard as you work now, with a few edits, a few changes on the direction you put that energy, you will be rich. Listen, I have a Lamborghini, right? I drive a Lamborghini. People stare at me like I'm from outer space. How do you get that car? But a Lambo's not that impressive. On a normal job, yeah, 300 grand is near impossible to spend on a car, on a normal job. But there are trillions of dollars out there. There are trillions of dollars out there. Trillions. Do you have any idea how much that is? Every building you drive past, go drive down any street. I don't care if you're in Sydney, Australia. I don't care if you're in Canada. I don't care if you're in Japan, Brazil, UK. I don't care if you're in Timbuktu. Every building you drive past is owned by somebody. You can drive down any street in the world and you're driving past millions of dollars. You drive past skyscrapers, you're driving past billions of dollars. The money is all around you. You can see money everywhere. Every apartment, every house, somebody or some company owns all of this. The money is everywhere. You just don't have any. Don't you see? There's a little club and you're not in it. You're inside the matrix. They're outside the matrix. And the only reason they can be so lazy and be outside the matrix is because you work so hard inside the matrix. I want to drive a Lamborghini. I don't build one. Someone inside the matrix builds it for me. And someone inside the matrix builds the roads. And someone inside the matrix pumps the gas. The people inside the matrix do all that work so I can drive my Lamborghini in the summer sun, as you can see behind me. Do you understand what's happening? Do you understand that the rich people are living on the backs of the poor? They always have. They always will. That's what the matrix was designed for. It was built this way on purpose, to keep you inside. If you can wake up and get out, then there is no more matrix. Then who's going to pump the gas and build the roads?
Nobody.
You understand what I'm saying? These people are not smarter than you. They do not work harder than you. They're average individuals. The people outside the matrix, a lot of them were born into rich families, but some others, like myself, have escaped. Working hard is not the secret to wealth. Please understand, this is not about working harder than everyone else. Poor people already work harder than everyone else, and they are poor.
When I talk about the Matrix, I'm talking about the systems which have been created by society, which are deliberately designed to enslave. In the movie, the Matrix were used for our body heat, but here in this Matrix, we're used for our efforts and our energies. And you're existing inside of a system which is deliberately rigged to make the rich richer and for the poor to stay poor. You can sit there and get upset about it. You can sit there and cry about it and say the system needs to change, which is what some people do, socialists, XYZ. But I think that's, I know that's a waste of time, right? That's futile. The best thing to do is to understand the rules of the game and find a way to win. So yes, the game is rigged. Yes, the rich are always going to get richer. Yes, the poor are always going to struggle. And that's the way the game is set up. So you still need to find the best move on the chessboard. There's no point sitting there saying, I want to play a different game, because that's never going to happen. Because the people with the money are the people who have the control and they have the power. And why would they have the game set up any other way? Why would they change it? It's also the basic of economics. I think a lot of people don't understand the true basics of economics. And the basics of economics state that even giving money to the poor, it ends up back in the hands of the rich. There's no way to stop the rich getting richer. I've already explained this before. But I remember when they did the stimulus checks, and they passed out all this free money to everyone, $1,000. In England, they gave a lot more money. But in America, everyone got like $1,400 each, and everyone was happy about it, saying, oh, he's giving money to the poor. Yeah, but what do those poor people spend that money on? They either, well, Amazon stock tripled because they all went to Amazon. So Jeff Bezos got richer, right? But the fact is that there's less companies than there are people. All those $1,400 checks amongst all those people at the bottom ended up in the hands of a few companies. And the rich got richer, and you can't stop it. Doesn't matter if those people invested their money, doesn't matter if they bought stocks, doesn't matter if they bought a crypto, doesn't matter if they bought a house, whatever. The people who have the assets and have the companies and have the control are always going to end up getting control of the currency, and they're always going to be richer. So that's kind of how it works. And it's getting worse and worse. Yeah, and that's another thing about opportunities, right? Because you have to be positioned to take advantage of opportunity. It's like in chess, they say good moves come from good positions. It's true. You can't.
It's like give and give back. Like, they give it to you and you give it back to them. But this game is crazy. Give and give up. Give and give back.
Find a good move from a terrible
Free Tate, man. Free Tate.
position, right? If you're sitting at home with no money, it's hard to invest in Bitcoin at $1. It doesn't matter what it goes to, right? You got to be in a good position to take advantage of things. So you've always got to be in a position where you have a good network, you have good information, you have some kind of liquid money, you have the ability to survive without that money, you can take a risk. Like, it's hard to set yourself up. I'm in a position now where I'm in the NBA. I'm an NBA player. I can never go broke again. So it doesn't matter, right? Once you're in the NBA, I can throw $1 million at something. It doesn't matter if it works or not. It doesn't make a difference. And that's why it's so much easier. They always say the first million is the hardest, and they're completely right. Once you get to a certain point, you can gamble to a degree, right? I always knew that the Matrix existed, and I always knew that the traditional systems, I just knew. Even when I was going to school and they're sitting there going, you're not going to get a good job if you don't get good grades. I was the one sitting there going, you're a liar, shut up. I just knew the teacher was lying. I knew college was bull. I knew university was a lie. I always knew it was a trick and a con. I didn't truly understand things to the level I understand them now. But I had an intrinsic understanding, and I think everybody does. If you're at a gas station and it's 3 a.m. and a Lambo pulls up and a guy gets out of it, you're thinking criminal, drug dealer, gangster. You're not thinking, he has a uni degree. Because you're not going to think that. So when you see money, people don't even associate the money they see with university. But then they go, I want to make money, so I go to university. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So I think everybody knows that the system and the path they lay out for you is not a path that's going to lead to where you want to be. And I didn't know what the other path was, but that intrinsic distrust for the system and that distrust for the things they wanted me to do made me search for other avenues. And then I found them, right? And if you speak to the people who are richest, if you speak to the people you know, this is for everyone at home as well, if you speak to the people you know who have the most money and go up to them and say, hey, what made you rich? None of them say school. Do any of them say school made me rich? I got an A in GCSE. Like, who gives a shit? It's right? It's all indoctrination. So I knew it was indoctrination, and for that reason, I was always searching. And if you're searching, you're going to find. They teach you things that the problem is as well, it's difficult because the way that humans work and the way that we've evolved as a species is that we don't really learn lessons unless they're learned the hard way. I believe that unless a lesson has taught the hard way, you're not going to learn it. You can have so many near misses and people won't learn their lesson. Bro, you must know a guy who goes out there, nearly crashes his car, doesn't slow his down till he wrecks it. Like, this is how people are, right? So you need that pain for the lesson to sting enough to really genuinely go inside of your mind. And it's the same with everything. It's the same with driving a car or business. Truthfully, if you want to learn a lesson about business, you're going to have to suffer at some point, right? So we always say that most people are not successful with their first companies, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I get that. The truth is, there's a lot of people who make a lot of money with their first company, but they just act an idiot, and it all blows up in their face. And that's how you get the discipline on your fourth company, that when you have $3 million in the bank, you just leave it there. You know, and don't be done with it. So you need to go through some pain. You need to experience some negative things. You need to have, to a degree, some trauma to really even learn any lessons. So yeah, business studies, you're right. The book That's not going to teach you anything about business. You need to get out there on the streets. You need to make mistakes. You need to suffer. You need to have the tax man knocking at your door. You got to deal with all that stuff so that you make sure it doesn't happen again. I really think that humans are stupid enough to only learn the hard way. That's kind of how it works. When I was broke, I knew exactly how much money I had. I had 117 pound in the NatWest, and that was it. I'm poor, rent's paid, I ain't got nothing else. When I was broke, I knew exactly how much I had. But now I'm at a point where it gets really difficult to truly measure how much money I have, because you have cash. Okay, that's easy. I have some crypto, which is constantly fluctuating. And then you have assets, and the price of the assets is constantly fluctuating. And then I have companies and income streams, which need to be valued. And how do you value them, right? They can be an 8 times multiplier in some circumstances, and others, they'll be a 10 times multiplier. So it's really difficult for me to put a value on it. If you were to say to me, how much money do I have in the bank? Once you have a healthy respect for money, once you get past a certain amount of money, you don't need it in the bank. Like there's no point in me having 50M liquid in the bank. Why? What am I going to buy? You know, you're like, as long as you have whatever you have in the bank to run around the world with, you have enough. So you try and put that money to use, right? You buy assets, XYZ. So it's really difficult. Yeah, and that's the thing about the way I talk and the things I say. Some people find it inspirational, and some people are upset by it, and their ego prevents them from learning from it. The kind of people who are really genuinely upset by what I say are the kind of people who can't truly learn anything and become successful in life. I obviously know what I'm talking about to some degree, right? So if Mike Tyson walks in here and tells you he's going to teach you how to box and says you can't fight, you're a pussy, if that upsets you, then you can't learn, right? It's Mike Tyson. Just shut up and listen. If someone, Richard me, comes along and says, Andrew, you don't know shit, you're a dumbass and you're a brokey, I'm going to sit there and go, okay, maybe I am a brokey, Elon. Tell me something, right? I'll listen. But if you're going to sit there and go, don't call me names and not listen, you're never going to get anywhere, right? You don't become the master unless you're very, very good at being a student. And I've always been very, very good at knowing when to shut up. I am absolutely and utterly a believer in hard work. I'm a proponent of hard work. I have all this money and all I do is work. My entire life is work. Once you get to a certain level of incomes and wealth, everything becomes free. And that's what I'm like now. I don't know the price of anything I eat or buy. If it's not a house or a car, even most supercars, G. I don't even know. This podcast is work. I'm getting in the car. I'm going to another meeting. Work. People who are in charge of the world don't care about anyone but themselves. They don't care about you, whether you're gay or straight. They're not interested. What they're interested in doing is controlling the minds of people and affecting the way people operate in a way which is beneficial to them. And life really doesn't have to be that complicated. When you see somebody that has something you want, you just got to try and work out how they got it. And that's the missing part. Most people see people with things they want and they don't do the second half. They don't try and work out how they got that thing. Oh, my man has a Ferrari. Okay. I wish I had a Ferrari. Okay. They don't sit there and go for an hour, how did he get a Ferrari? It doesn't cross that part is the part they don't want to do, right? They just go, oh, he has a Ferrari, wish I had a Ferrari, and they go back to TV, and that's why they lose.
Damn, bro, free Tate, man.